Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the business transformation pitch with the CX goalkeeper. I am super thrilled because today I have Rajat Chawla together with me. Hi Rajat, how are you?
Hi, Greg. Great to be with you here. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now today's episode is something really relevant. AI won't fix bad CX, but it will expose it. And I think we are going to deep dive into this topic. It's very relevant. A lot of companies are working in the field of AI. Not every company is achieving the results. And now we have Rajat together with us. We'll share some insights, some golden nuggets, and score some goals together with us. As usual, before we kick off this game, let's learn about Rajat, today's top player. Rajat, if your career were a soccer match, what would be the biggest goal you have scored so far?
Yeah, great question. A nice way to start, Greg. I love this. Uh, the biggest goal I would say is after I started as an independent consultant 10 years back, I um, using LinkedIn and continuing to just being present on that, which we today take it's much more visible. At that time, it wasn't the platform. Attracting clients with core of my work, clients like Google, Cisco, working with leaders at Amazon, Microsoft, being able to do that because I was passionate about what I was doing. It wasn't just sheer luck, but staying on it, I would say that has been the biggest goal for me. Those brands and the kind of work that I got to do with those leaders, I would say that's been the biggest goal.
And with the names of the companies that you shared, I would say you're already playing in the Champions League, the most important and the biggest company. But what for me it's also important, and what we are also preaching in transformation and leadership, it's to understand the mission. What's the mission that drives you in your work?
Yeah, so my mission is really to grow the impact of customer experience beyond just a department. It's not just a department like many companies, many people think so. It's a combination of culture, purpose, and now AI together, technology together, delivering experiences that are really human centric, based on empathy. You've talked a lot about that, I know. Those human centric experiences, that's my mission to grow the understanding of CX beyond just being a function and expanding it as the core, the soul of the organization, and making it happen.
Thank you. And I think we are already ready to kick off this game, and therefore let's start. One of your sentences while I'm following you, and I'm following you since long time, you say AI won't create great CX, but it will expose bad CX faster. What do you mean, and why is that a risk for companies?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. Actually, AI is so powerful that it can magnify what is working and can make it more efficient, and then actually can also show the gaps. So for example, if on a certain website FAQs are outdated, it'll show you. If AI bots, they start full swing but they don't have the right information, then they will miseducate the customer. One of the examples I would like to talk about is Taco Bell's. Taco Bell decided to automate its drive-through 500 units, and decided to leverage AI, but it wasn't ready at the back end. The operations were still not there. What happened? One of the customers um, placed order for 18,000 water cups, and it went through. I don't know if you've heard of that story, but it was a chaos, and people made reels around that, and it really backfired. So now they are really relooking at whether they should stop this or whether they improve their operations. So it really can expose if it's not handled well. That's why.
I think this is one great example that you are sharing, and we read in the newspaper, and we saw a lot of reels, a lot of videos around that, and I think that's extremely important to focus and to have the foundation, the basics that are working. And what I really like is you say, and we discuss about the future of CX is invisible. What does it mean exactly to you?
Yeah, so customers really do not want digital, they want effortless. They are not concerned what do you do in the background. I'd love to share, quote from Yamini Rangan, the CEO of HubSpot, which is one of the very customer-centric organization. She said, if you are doing something which prompts the customer to reach out the organization's people, the front end, the back end, then you're doing something wrong. So if you are not visible, the organization is not visible to the customer, then you seem to be doing everything good. Another example would be the Amazon's, just walkout stores, where you really, when you walk in, there is nothing that you have to interface with. You just pick up the product and you're out. The swiping of the card, the scanning of the product, everything is happening invisibly. The customer does not care. That kind of effortlessness we are talking about invisible.
Yes, exactly. What you're saying, I think it's really a good example, and also thinking about these different companies that you, as usual, you contact the contact center, you explain your issue, and then they say, "Oh, okay, now I need to connect you with this department," and then you start again explaining everything what happens. Oh no, it was not me. I'm not responsible for this topic, and then it goes in this, let's say, in our words, first level, second level, and then third level support. And that's very difficult. You mentioned that also at the beginning, that CX is not a department or a group, but it should be everywhere. And therefore, I think it's really important to share this example and to make understandable for companies that customers don't care about organizational structure, about hierarchies, and so on, but they care about the results, as you said, effortless. You mentioned that, but let's really double click on that. Um, how will AI also change these effortless experiences?
The effortless experiences, we're talking about making it easy. I talk about 3 E's, which actually, are borrowed from Forrester: easy, enjoyable, and efficient. Now, AI at the back end can really understand what journey points are weak. What are the areas that are making it weak? What kind of intervention we need to do in order to strengthen those journey points? Like example of Taco Bell, probably they never realized that they need to have some kind of a validation when somebody is placing order for 18,000 cups. They were just excited that we've got an AI now, we are just take everything is taken care of, which wasn't the fact, right? So obviously easy is not easy. Actually making it easy is most difficult. So for that, when the new journeys with AI power are getting designed, you need to really think very differently. Like, uh, innovation happens at that place. The AI will enable for you, but as humans, we have to be in the shoes of humans and understand this effortless from the point of view of customer always, not from the point of view of technology. That's how.
Yes, and I like this example, and this is already the case, exposing AI to the customers, but also AI will be is used into the companies, into the departments, and you are really warning us. You are warning that lazy CX leaders. Please let me know, not only CX leader, but I think in general, lazy leaders will be replaced by AI. What make a lazy leader, and what mindset is needed instead?
See I know I use that word and it kind of might just wake up few of the people, and that's the idea. And also I don't want to just scare people, but that's the fact, because the speed of technology is so fast. So as lazy CX leader is someone who thinks technology can compensate for broken culture, for outdated processes, for misunderstood journeys, for having lack of vision. They continue to chase maybe, the tools, the dashboards, and vanity KPIs. Like just few days back, I talked about NPS, right? And there was a lot of debate happening on that. So AI doesn't cover that laziness. It's going to expose it, because if you're still relying, like again, example of Taco Bell, not that there wasn't enough effort, but when you don't do the homework well, then technology will not work for you, and that is laziness. That is not really doing the due diligence long enough, deep enough, thorough enough to handle this monster that we have, which has got very, very powerful engine. But at the same time, I use the word monster. It can also work the other way, right? So the lazy leaders have to be really sharp enough, and strong enough to manage this whole new monster, which has good side and the bad side. Yeah.
Uh, I get it, but I would really like to double click on that. You spoke about broken culture. You're speaking about mindset, to be prepared for this change, to be prepared for this transformation. And you're a renowned advisor for really big companies. What are the most important, let's say, two, three advices that you are giving to CX leaders nowadays?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for double clicking it. One of the things that is the siloed working, and I've talked about it, and people have felt, I have seen it personally, even in my own assignments. The top leadership is really excited to sponsor customer experience program, but at the inside below the organization, everybody is continuing to have their own priorities. There's no The undercurrents do not change. The culture, the DNA does not change. The leaders talk big. We want to be customer centric. We want to improve our experience. However, teams at the bottom, the sales is busy about cracking numbers. Marketing is thinking about brand without associating it with the customer experience. Operations is busy fixing. And all these teams do not realize that they are together creating a customer experience. It's not the one. So the design of the organization for most of the times, for except for very few organization, is not in place. I call it the organizational design, and we start therefore by establishing accountability. So you asked about number one is truly walking the talk. If you're having a vision, then you walk the talk. Number two is fixing the culture by establishing accountability. And three is really going and listening what customer is saying. We may call it POC, we may call it insights, but doing the dirty work of sitting still, listening, and fixing nut and bolts. These are the three things I would talk about, right? Thanks for that great question.
But that's for my normal question. I received a great answer, and therefore, thank you for these three important advices that are for a lot of us a reminder. But I think that's these are really the key ingredients for the future to create the experiences that our customers are expecting from us. Now, let's go in the second half of this discussion, and we want to speak about real use cases. I know you already shared the Taco Bell example, but can you share a story where AI exposed weak CX and what we can learn from it?
Yeah, I think I would talk about KLM Airlines. Especially, you know, it started around COVID, when they had a surge of cancellations and customers asking for refunds. Their refund policies and back-end processes were not ready. They leaned into they call it blue bot. It was a bot, a robo, but it was not equipped. Though there was a front end, but again, classic example, the back end was not aligned. The processes were not able to update this information at such a pace, so it fall flat. And the AI didn't create the bad experience. It was basically the foundations were not in place for KLM to deliver that. While they thought bot will automate and will scale, it can automate and scale what is there on the ground. it cannot invent on its own, right? So that's what really happened. It really expand in was the customer bad mouthed the whole experience. That's one story.
Thank you. And let's go to directly to the second one. Can you share a success story where AI quietly improved CX without customer noticing it?
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I'm just planning. Though I do go to Starbucks less, but today after the podcast, I thought I will treat myself with a cold brew. Right. So let's talk about Starbucks. AI powered deep brew. That's one story I would love to talk about. And what they have really done is they have created a personalization by understanding where the customer is, what kind of weather are they in, whether it's a cold weather or it's a rainy day, then they would recommend them hot coffee, cappuccino. And if it's a weather which is hot weather, they would send recommendation based on their personalized uh, place weather uh, for cold brew, right? So for the customer, they don't know what's really happening. They don't know about this AI at the back end. They just are they're very happy to see the right thing at the right moment. Obviously, it improves the personalization, the experience, and they get to win the brownie points, and customer feels really taken care of, true to the brand of Starbucks. So that's something I would say, and it's called as deep brew, right? So rightly so, because depth of AI brings personalization.
That's really cool. And I think also these special moments that you get the right recommendation, they're really linked to these solutions. And I think getting the weather, it's not so difficult knowing there it's raining, somewhere it's snowing, it's summer, it's winter, and so on. And I think this attention to the details will bring Starbucks forward. And please, the cup of cappuccino that you're going, sorry, the cup of that you're going to drink later, it's on me. And please let me know how I can pay for that. It would be really my
Would have
pleasure.
been lovely to have it with you, but nevertheless, thanks for that gesture. That I really thank you for that.
Rajat, we are coming to an end, but let's shoot some penalties quickfire round. Who is your role model in business?
Yeah, I would say I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a solopreneur, and now obviously I have a virtual team. But still, the core of the business is driven because I am in this space of customer experience. I admire Alex Hermosi and Sam Owens. And why? Because they also have built empire of their own by being customer centric. One of the examples is they started this uh, app, which is a learning app called School, but they built their own school on it to share it with their students. And they share their own experience they use to improve this app. And their method is to continuously keep listening to their customers and keep improving their product. Alex Hermosi just few days back created a world record of highest selling book. You must have seen the buzz all over the place. Um, Highest selling book in the shortest Guinness Book of World Record. Obviously, he's shares a lot of practical stuff. So I find them very grounded, at the same time very connected to their customers, and that's what makes them my role model in many ways.
I can only confirm I was reading Alex Hormozzi's book a few days ago, and it's incredible how customer centric and how people centric they are focused, not only on the customer side, but also on the employee side, how they are treating their employees. It's really incredible. Next question. What can listeners start doing tomorrow?
I think if they can just begin really small, no rocket science, by auditing one customer journey a day, identify by being in their shoes what small thing they can do to remove the friction. And if they really are going the AI way, then really bring the tool with the lens of how this AI intervention can remove the friction in a journey. Now, you can choose that journey. that doesn't matter. They based on what is important for you. But that's my one thing to start doing just immediately.
Thank you. Now, next question. Toughest challenge you beat?
Yeah, I think as we have talked, I started on my own in the CX consulting space, and I remember almost 10 years back I started, and I was probably um, it was not that I did a great thing by being Asia's first certified customer experience mentor with CXPA. There was no competition. People were not aware of it, right? And I always had this passion in this space, but I started alone. This was alone, very lonely journey. Now we have 80,000 plus members of CXPA. I'm able to speak to you, from another part of the world. The people, experts, passionate people like you now I'm able to connect with them, right? But this was not always the case. So I think the toughest challenge has been taking this torch for alone for long enough. And still today, the challenge is, at least in my part of the world, that helping people understand why customer centricity, customer experience is the differentiator, is the core that you have to embed in your organization. Probably that's the key challenge.
And what's your winning habit?
Um, I have been dabbling with it off and on, but at this point, at the point when you're asking me, I would say my daily gratitude. You know, uh, I can talk about performance habits, efficiency, but I still feel there are so many things to be thankful about, and it's easy to get distracted. So I would say thank you. Has been one of the core habits that I would keep close to me and never forget about that.
Thank you very much. And now we are coming to the last question. Is Rajat golden nugget? It's something that we discussed or something new to leave to the audience with?
Yeah, I think my experience and my insight, I don't know if you can call it a golden nugget, would be to um, tell leaders to lead with culture, not AI, not technology, nothing else, but bringing people in and nurturing them. I remember, this once, um, the founder of Zappos was asked, Tony Shea, what is the biggest mistake you would like to share? He said, making the wrong hires, hiring the wrong people costed us $100 million. Right. So when you want to build a customer, why I'm saying is right from hiring to nurturing to training to building culture, that's what is a key differentiator. After you have done everything, suddenly one fine morning you wake up and because everybody is talking about customer experience today, you say, let's do it. And then you don't change anything. That's not going to work. So my small advice would be work on your culture, work on your people, and whatever vision you have, that needs to be translated through them. You can't do it alone.
Rajat, thank you very much. We are coming to an end. Please stay with me. But before we conclude, what's the best way to contact you?
I am on LinkedIn. So certainly look for Rajat Chawla, Asia's first certified CX mentor. Even if you type in Rajat Rajat Chawla and put in customer experience, hopefully my name will pop up. On LinkedIn, you can connect with me. We'll be happy to engage with uh, over there, and then from there we can take it forward. But that's one of the things that's good to get started.
Rajat, thank you very much for playing this match together with me. To the audience for today, I hope that you enjoyed this discussion. For today, it's everything. Feedback is a gift. Please let me know. Please let Rajat know over LinkedIn if you have any additional question. Thank you very much and bye bye.
Bye bye.